too bad for you.
Not really. I mean, it isn't nice either, but it could be worse. So I should be good 100% by the end of the weekend.
Alright, I think that is us up and running. It is indeed.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2.
Yep, I can hear that.
Okay, so we're definitely live, Austria. Medium full.
Yeah, also, great new addition to this season's calendar is free sprint races.
Yep,
So,
definitely.
just a quick one for the people watching along at home that don't understand how they work. Instead of doing the full qualifying format and the 50% race like we normally would do, we are doing a short qualifying followed by a 30% race. So around Austria, 33% race around Austria, so we're getting 12 laps, and then we're moving into the feature race. It's a bit like F2 in that regards, a bit like the sprint races you see in real life F1, just not as long.
Yep, it'll definitely make things a lot more interesting, especially given the fact that there's only one soft tire available
Yeah.
for qualifying, so you definitely have to be on the ball from the first hot lap.
So you only get one soft tire to use.
Yes, wait, sorry, I'm confusing things. This is practice that I'm referring to, so completely disregard everything that I just said.
I was gonna say I don't know how this works because I sat out of preseason to spectate it with the rest of the admins, so I did none of the sprint races. So, and yeah, so new season brings new cars for each and every driver. Well, mostly. It's gonna take us a hot minute to actually remember who is in each car again this season. So give me till about round 5, and I'll finally have it nailed for the 10 weeks that follow. But beyond that, there's not much else that we can say about it. It's just good to be back. New season, clean slate. Everybody gets full super license points. Everybody starts the season on no points, and yeah, off we go. Trying to figure out
Yeah,
who's actually crossing the line first.
looks like Wicken is on a hot lap already, as well
Yes,
as Gingy.
Baby Dan has stepped up. We do have a couple of new drivers in tier 2. Harry stepping down from tier 1 for the second time. We've got Getsy in the Mercedes alongside Ashik. And then who else do we have? Captain Hindsight has been handed a full-time seat. Relatively stayed the same across the board, only a few moving up and a few coming back down. So rain at some point in the actual sprint race, in the actual feature race, but quali and sprint are going to be dry. That's good news.
Yep, but also a little makes stuff tricky with mixed weather conditions, especially the fact that with this game you don't know when the rain is going to come. You just know there's going to be rain. You don't know if it's the whole race and it's going to be rain. If it, you just don't know.
So, you know where I said that people were getting new cars and new teammates? Ginge got the Alpine again.
Oh, he's lucky.
Yep,
Absolutely lucky. And that's
100%.
Fizz Lars with a 151, already putting in a decent time there for everyone to try to attack. Um, And there's only one session, this one session, the short quality session that everyone has to ensure that they get their times in because we're not doing the three sessions that would usually occur in a normal race weekend.
Nope. It's literally for those that enjoy slowly building into quality and being able to take a couple of baby steps before they decide that they're going to unleash their full race pace, well, quality pace on your opposition. Short quality, you cannot do that. The track does evolve a little bit quicker because the time frame is condensed, but it's not great. It's so, especially around a track as short as Austria, there is cars everywhere. Like, look at the track map, they're everywhere. And you just feel like you're Sebastian Vettel at Abu Dhabi trying to just pick your way through the traffic. So Scotty in his brand new Ferrari has managed to plow a Ferrari time there with a 127 flat.
Brilliant for worry saying that. The strat team would be proud. At least on Austria, when it comes to the getting out of people's way, it's not that difficult since it has like three very long straight. Well, not
Yeah, and
long,
there's
but
run off at every corner
run
pretty
off
much.
areas. Exactly. So it makes life a lot easier to just get out of people's way instead of blocking them.
So yeah, we've now got Ninja up in to tier 2. Finally got his wish and gotten out of Mercedes to go to the Mercedes junior team in Williams. Track limits, especially during short quality, are going to play a huge part. As Captain Hindsight actually did find almost 2 tenths on his previous time, but invalidated at the final corner.
Yep, and Fizz Lars still holding strong with that 105 1. There's 12 more minutes for anyone to come and dethrone him from that pole position currently. And as you said, Karen, the track will get quicker. So that time isn't safe right now, but
However,
you
I
know,
do think if my memory serves me correctly, Paul last season with full like track evolution of three parts of quali was like a 1 minute 4.7, and that was done by Wicken. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be miles off. But I don't think I'm too far away with that estimate. So initial first runs, not
yeah,
doing too
let's
badly.
see. Was it? Let's see if we can find it. I think that one was that done on YouTube or Twitch?
I can find it, as Dan had the brilliant thing of putting in a quality results page
Ah,
for each
okay.
tier, for the admins to refer back to in places like this. So Austria Q3, it was Wicken and it was a 14905.
Okay, well, based on that, Fizzler's time isn't bad at all
And I know tier
for a
ones was a
first run.
104,855, so it was literally half a tenth difference between T1 in tier 2 and T1 in tier 1 last
Wow.
season. So I'm just riding on board with Gexy as he completes his first run. What is with the yellow dots on the rear wings of these cars? They're not there in real life, so I don't understand why we have them in the game.
Yellow dots, I'm not familiar with those. Who you're on board with right now? Oh, Gatsy at in the
Then just look back
Mercedes.
at the rear wing and these yellow dots.
Oh, I have no idea.
I, they're on every car.
That's interesting.
I think it might be like a sponsorship thing, or where, you know, like bits of the rear wing where they can't really show it in game.
Ah, I have no idea. You know, EA 40s. Who knows? Whoever knows with them.
Let's Google this, shall we? While we finish. Well, Gexy puts himself into P2 with a solid first lap,
Ah, 105.2. Good job.
and then Ashik is the next man that's at the bottom of the field.
It's that yellow flag brought out by Biz Lars. Offshore. So there's three. I can't remember the other tracks that the other two sprint races will be at this um, this season. But this will be the secondary pace for what they'll be like going forward. All right, the other two tracks will be France and Bahrain. So this will be an interesting season that gives the drivers three additional opportunities to get a few more points in the bag with the
Yes.
sprint race weekend format.
With the point system going from P1 to P5, scoring 5 points for first, 4 points for second, 3 points for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for fifth. Obviously, having it scoring 8 points for qualifying, essentially qualifying on pole, is a little bit problematic because it means that if somebody crashes out at 3 sprint races and then it gets to the penultimate round of the season, which I think is the final sprint race, arguably the championship can be won in quali. So
True, it's true.
we didn't want that to happen. So that was the. Oh, Lars has just gone. Oh
and
my
Lars is
god!
gone 104.8. Now he's putting his mark down. The first timeout, fastest lap. Second timeout, fastest lap. So he's
Lars is
making himself
beating
known if
last
the man to be beaten.
season's P1 time for Tier 1.
Yep, with a cracking time. And there's still some more time to go. I mean, I really hate it when the yellow flag thing comes out and completely blocks the remaining time in the session.
Yeah, it was
Doesn't
Lars
make
getting
any
out of
sense.
the way of one of the Astons, which I think was Ted. No, it wasn't Teddy. It was Bab. That he was getting out of the way of. Even though Bab was on an outlap, he didn't want to take the risk of it impeding him. So just
Right.
pulled to the side and slowed down slow.
Well, if you are one of the 18 remaining drivers whose name is not Lars, you have 6 minutes in which to get that top step by beating the 104.8. Who can do it? We know Fizz can. He's done it. But who else can?
Like he's clear by almost 4 tenths.
Yeah.
So far.
And each lap was his first attempt at doing his hot lap, and both times he went straight to the top. But you see, the sprint race is gonna, a lot of psychology is gonna play into it in terms of how each driver approaches it, because you can go in guns blazing and trying to go for a move that might be a little risky and completely end up at the back, or just say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to let this guy go so we don't battle and crash, and just so I can start P5.
This is the thing, it's where it's now an actual, well, across 3 races out of the 15 for the season, we've got essentially 15 more points up for grabs, which those 15 points could have, like, they could have changed the picture of a couple of races, well, the championship battles from last season. Like Tier 1, Cameron Poulter lost out on the championship by one, sorry, they finished on equal points. No, he missed out on it by 1 point.
He missed out by 1 point, yeah.
Which was taken by the fastest lap from a reserve in Brazil in the season finale.
Wow.
On the final lap.
Wow. But it really shows you how tight Tier 1 really was, though, because even in terms of the spread of points, no one got above 200, which means that throughout the season, persons were just stealing points off of each other. So show you how competitive it really was.
Yeah.
Um,
Last
in tier
season,
2 and 3, you have both winners were able to get 200 something points.
like I've worked it out that last season, the constructors champions finished on 900. I think it was 974 points. So almost 1,000 points for the constructors champions. Um, they, as far as I'm aware, they did not have a drivers champion. No, they didn't. They did not have
They
a drivers
didn't,
champion.
but they did have drivers placing pretty high in tier 1.
2 and 3.
Scotty and
Yeah.
Dan were 3 and 5, and then in tier 2, the Don Cammy was 2 and 3, and then Andy in tier 3 with second place, and Baby Boy 12th. But
But Matey Boy came
totality,
into it towards the end of the season. Um,
yeah,
but my point was going to be, across that team, do you want to know on the average points per driver they had for
what's
last
that?
season?
I get a funny feeling you're going to tell us.
162.3 points per driver.
Oh wow, that's a
If each of
crazy
them scored
average.
the exact same amount of points as each other to get to the result that they did, each driver would have had to score 162.3 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a scary stat when you actually think about it, because like most drivers will score between say 50 and 90 points in a season across the board on an average season. And they Williams got that good in numbers last season that if the average across the 6 drivers was almost double that.
Senate just spun it on the last corner. Hope she get out of the way.
Schnitzy's dropped it in the middle sector too. He's doing his best.
Okay, so right now the next person up from Gexi, sorry, from Fizdars is Gexi. So one would assume that he's probably got the best chance of doing a lap that's more than 4 times better than he's done before.
And he was. Oh, Wiccan's only 3,000th of a second behind too, down in P3.
Yeah.
And
So
we
let's
know
see.
how good Wiccan is over one lap.
All right. So currently, Gexi's not going to do it. He's already 7. What's that?
Thousandths of a second down.
7 thousandths of a second. Yeah.
And he was just under half a tenth down in sector 1, so it's just over a tenth, and he's invalidated.
And Wiccan, sorry, Cynics, who's the next closest person after Wiccan on a hot lap. He's over his time.
2 seconds down.
Yep.
I think everybody is burnt through their set of stuff for quali. Kiani
Yeah,
is
it's
just about to
Kiani.
start a lap. That was Kiani's out lap. This is his actual flyer. Takes too much curve at turn 1. I'm not sure about you because you're also on manual. I've seen your TP assist level. There are none. Turn 1. Is it a 3rd gear entrance to 4th gear exit for you, or is it just straight 4th gear?
I'm going to be honest with you. I generally, I feel better when I go to a lower gear. So going down more to like 3rd. However, what I did realize was 4th and 5th was faster.
Yes. But
So
it seems a little bit more snappy on the exit.
yes, exactly. So you can't get back on the throttle as quickly, but the key is that you take so much more speed through that you actually still are able to maintain the speed through the long straight as well. So
Gianni puts himself up into 2nd.
yeah, so I stick with 4th because 5th, even though it's faster, I can't do it constantly because I don't get a rhythm. A rhythm is extremely important.
Yeah. For me, it's down into 3rd. Then as I clip the exit curb, it's back up into 4th. And by the time I'm on the DRS activation line, I'm in 5th. in that
Yeah.
short space of time, which is like less than what 50 yards, I've gone up through 2 gears and I'm ready to roll up the hill.
And Fizz Lars he's got it. I don't think he came back out for a third run. He was just like, yep, no one's gonna beat that. Wow.
Yeah,
Talk about confidence.
1.2 split in P1 and P19 in short quali.
Very competitive. Well, I mean, for everyone but the P2 and down.
Yeah.
That was a commanding performance there for Fizz Lars.
So let's just grab the quality times. 1.221 between Lars and Ross down in P19. And Cammy did say he's only just realised that he does still have the American flag on while he's racing. I'm not quite sure why he did that, but he's done that.
Not sure either. So, Fizz Lars, Fizz Kiani, DMS Getsy, The Weekend, and This Is Genji will hope that they remain in those places or
can interchange
advance.
amongst each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
They get some points and they can be the elitists who keeps the others out of their club.
Yeah.
To get some points.
From what I saw during pre-season, the sprint does tend to actually throw up a few surprise quali results because some people have better race pace than they do quali pace.
Mm-hmm.
And others prefer quali over race. Like some people would happily just sit there and do like 36 laps of TT and hope that that is what allows them to score points. But I digress.
I'm seeing Cammy's saying that the reason why he still has the US flag up is because it was a joke for Brazil. In Brazil, since he said he's supporting USA in the World Cup, but keep forgetting to change it back. It happens.
Especially as he is one of our resident Scots, and Scotland didn't make it to the World Cup. And it's currently USA versus England at the moment.
England. I will try to keep you guys updated on that, actually.
I was just about to go check the score myself. And the
score is 0-0.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Speaking of which, it's just come through as a BBC Sport notification. CDR, not sponsored by BBC Sport, as a tedious 0-0 draw. That's how they described it.
And the predictive strategy is no stops. So let's see what we have for tires here. I assume everybody's going to be on mediums. Is there any brave person starting off softs? Let's see.
I think everybody will be on the medium because the soft won't go to the end.
Everybody's on medium. Never know, there's always some driver that knows something that we don't until they find out that we do know. They were wrong.
I think that in the sprint you can only start on the medium or the hard.
Or the hard.
You cannot physically, like, for example, I think one of the sprint races we're doing is Bahrain, because yes, CDR returns to Bahrain later in the season after missing a couple of seasons. Can't wait for that. We also return to China in, I think it's round 4. Return to return to Baku, and we also bring Singapore to the CDR calendar for the first time. And I am hyped about this calendar.
Austria is so short that the formation lap is already ending just as soon as it started. It's amazing. And there's also I'm not sure it was Singapore in the last calendar.
It was Baku.
But Singapore is I'm looking forward to Singapore.
So am I.
Alrighty.
So Baku is next week. Wow.
That's interesting. And the last car is coming up, VDF Ross.
So no pit stops expected. So if we see anyone in the pits, it is more than likely going to be due to a wing change.
Not saying
as
the lights,
the
but I
the
guess.
Faz's guys have locked out the front
Ah.
row in the Haas and McLaren respectively.
And Fear's reaction time is actually really, really good. Let's see if
Oh,
he
that that
maintains it.
Wickham got a terrible start. He got swamped in the midfield.
Oh Lord, somebody tries to go upside the inside. Okay, so still looking good. They got through it fine. No one looks to be sideways or missing a wing.
That's brave, especially on lap one,
Oh
as
wow.
Harry and Sinix come together.
And Faisdar's dropped down to fourth. Not sure if he had contact.
I think he just got a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn three, if I'm being honest.
Okay, that was a brave move by Faze Kiani though into turn three.
Turn four, the one going down the hill. Oh, and he's sideways.
Oh, he lost it. Okay.
Ginger somehow inherited the lead.
And Faze is back on him after dropping down to P4. He's back up to P2 now and on behind Jinji. I think Jinji started in P5, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Position changes.
Yeah. He started P5.
Yeah. 4 positions up, so a good start by Jinji. The fastest lap.
Yeah, obviously DRS will get activated as it normally would during the feature race. During the sprint, still got to wait until the third lap. That's a nice move up the inside by Gexy at turn 3. He could not have got any closer to the apex card there. Just now defending for his life into turn 4.
It seems that FaZe Lars might not be as aggressive as his defense because you guys are getting past. Yeah, they're getting past. But let's see if he.
Oh, wicked spun.
All right, that's an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that's Wicken round.
Alfa Romeo, Ala Wicken.
That is the inside curb at turn 8, turn 7.
Well, see if Fizar is actually playing into the hands of Jinji because they're so close. They have to keep each other's moves in mind, and therefore they're not driving the perfect line. And Jinji may benefit from this. Yeah, it was over a second, but it's kind of being hauled back, and so maybe they're getting wiser to it and deciding to work together.
DRS activation.
Yeah,
that's what's dragging them back in. But
yeah, if they continue to fight, he could definitely begin to pull away.
Captain Hindsight got absolutely mugged out of turn 3 into 4.
Bab
and Mechanical had DRS on him and kind of just split round him. Just left him alone in the middle of the track.
We've got some action in the middle too. These guys are...
That's a great move.
Like Captain Hindsight?
Yeah.
Yeah, brave.
It just kind of opened up in front of him, so he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to hang it out round the outside and just hope that nobody turns into me. So
okay, let's see what's going to happen here.
Ninja's up into P8, but can sniff a top 5, and as I say that, makes a move up the inside of Ashak into turn 1. So up into P7 for Ninja, while he's got Harry and Schnitzy going at it.
Yep, their position changes all over. Babin was already out of ERS, and so it's Faciani, so they're just fighting it. Be careful, guys.
Ooh, I jumped on board just as Wickham appeared on the scene.
Yep. And Getsy's actually catching Jinji, now 2 tenths behind. So those guys are catching up to Jinji.
I'm gonna, yeah. I think Jinji's not using his ERS. He's on 50%. He's in better shape than Gexy, but Lars is still on mid-70s, so he's in the perfect position.
Yeah, he's definitely saving his ERS and just sticking in the DRS trade. Yeah, so he's definitely building up for a pass, maybe in the next 2 laps or so, or maybe as soon as he sees the red light, he's gonna be like, "Yep, that's my time."
He's got a pounce, yeah. But Ninja is still catching the back of these. And they go back at it again into turn 3. These two.
And Fizz Lars has lost it on his own on the exit of the hill. It's turn
Oh, and Harry got
3.
caught up in it. So Ninja is actually up into P5.
Oh wow, let's see how many position changes that makes. So
I
the
think he's
biggest
up
winner
6
thus
places.
far is actually Slick C, who is up to P4
Oh,
after starting P12.
lads, keep it clean. 3, 6, 7, and 8 is not a place that you want to be side by
Yeah,
side, but well done.
so we've got two pretty big winners there in Ninja and Slick C in P5 and P4, having had P6 and sorry 6 and 8 positions gained in the first 6 laps.
Yeah,
I think guys need to remember this is a sprint race. It's more important to just keep it on track and not get caught up in any crazy battles
yeah,
and save the fighting for the race.
Obviously, the sprint races help. Oh, that's Wicken in the barrier. Captain Hindsight also in the runoff, in the run up to turn 3. I'm not quite sure what happened to Scotty, is why he is all the way at the back, almost half a lap down.
Yeah, she's pretty close to Ginger. They're both pretty low on ERS right
They're
now.
on identical ERS through that couple of corners.
He's getting pretty close, so I think DRS is going to play in. Is he going for the move here?
This because the detection zone is at this corner, isn't it?
Nope, that's that exactly. But he was wiser to the move.
Yeah, it's a corner I'd consider the overtake at, but not up the inside. As I say that, I did have Dylan try that on me at Austria at that corner last season. It's not a corner to overtake because the guy on the outside has nowhere to go, the guy on the inside has nowhere to go. So you really, it just ends up in a bump of wheels, and unfortunately one guy ends up going round.
Yep. Okay, so Getsy's going for the move, and he's taking the lead now, so it's Getsy P1, Ginger
But he's left the door wide open.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, Ginger thought he had enough pace for the switchback.
This is good racing by these two guys.
I tend to like try and avoid Ginger because every time I ride on board with him, he crashes.
Okay, I'll take the blame this time.
As people are picking up time penalties behind Ninja.
Yeah, we've got wow, quite a lot of guys on penalties. We've got Weatherman, Harry. Let me see how many penalties these guys are on right now.
Oh, Schnitzy's gone. Schnitzy has crashed.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Is that at the final corner?
Looks that way. Is this safety car?
Oh, how did he crash there?
Is it? It looks like a safety car.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. There's 4 laps left.
Oh, guys, why are you putting softs on? You've got to burn for a set of softs for your feature.
Yeah, this is actually going to screw those guys, especially Weatherman Harry, that had not just his softs, but in terms of the penalties, because even though Weatherman Harry has a 3-second penalty, I say Lars, the next guy behind him was like 10 seconds away, so he would never close that gap. But no, that Babin, for instance, could probably get the last point available once he sticks within the 3-second penalty of those two guys.
Yep. Obviously, this does help, like Ginge and Cynics, because Gexy had started to pull away a little bit. And if this incident had occurred on the lap they're just entering, the safety car would not have come out. If it's within the last quarter of the race, you will not see a safety car. So I think we're going to be done with the safety car regardless in the next lap.
Definitely.
Because there's cars everywhere, nobody's in order.
Yeah, I think the guy gets no Jinzu for sure. Tenet, Ninja, probably P1 to P5 don't have to
I,
worry about the soft runners behind.
I'd say P1 to P4 are pretty much secure, and then everybody else. Like, how is a ship making up play? Oh, every Captain of Hindsight and Cole pitted.
Yeah, because you got Fizz Kiani in P9 who's pitted for the softs, but as soon as lap two, unless he makes like passes every single straight, it's gonna be difficult for him to even get any points.
Yeah,
Because
I don't think the thing is he's got to catch up to the back of this pack, but not burn those softs out. And when the
yeah,
race distance is reduced, the tyre wear is increased.
yeah, and he's
It's
11 seconds.
relative to race distance. So what the softs around Austria normally last what like 8 to 10 laps.
Yeah, I mean he definitely have pace to the end of the race,
Yeah,
but as
but they
soon as
might
that
be on the
DRS
last
kicks in,
legs at that point.
yeah, true,
As he
true.
just set the fastest lap of his race under the safety car.
Oh yeah, that definitely would eat up the tires for sure.
Bearing in mind, you do not score a point for the fastest lap during the
Fastest lap
sprint.
on the sprint. Yeah.
There is no point for that. So, was there really any need to swap onto the softs? People thinking, oh, we're racing, we're getting the fastest lap. But no.
I guess for those guys, they're pretty far down the totem pole. So it's like, you know what? Nothing to lose. Let's just try to see what can happen. However, it turns out there is actually something to lose, something called positions, because this is still technically a qualifying. And I think that's what guys haven't considered.
Well, guys, there is something to lose. It's called positions. Damien, why did you sound like that was straight out the Kieran handbook?
Well, I guess maybe I'm being influenced subconsciously without realizing it.
I think you've been here long enough now just to know that that is something I would say.
Yeah, it's not just a race. You're actually racing for positions. So by pitting and dropping all the way back, are you really going to make up the positions that you lost? So you're going to put yourself in a worse position, essentially, for the start of the race. And we're going. And it looks like Getsy's gotten a really good start.
Yeah,
Uh,
left change in his wake, but turn one under slightly cooler tyres could spell disaster. But bearing in mind everybody's got an ERS recharge for the final 2 laps, so
yep. It's going to be who
violate
can
it,
right there.
use it as quality trim.
Exactly. And who in the top eight who are all sitting on the all medium tires? Which of those guys can maximize the grip limit that they have right now? That's what's going to really
Oh,
be
Claymore, that
determining.
is un I'm not going to say unfortunate. He put up a great defence around the outside of turn 4. Just Kiani on those softs had a little bit more grip and just more punch coming out of the exit of the corner.
I would be surprised if Kiani can actually get any points. If he's dealing with guys ahead,
All he's got to do is get
who
past
are,
Vab and he's in the points.
well, there go
Oh,
that
as I say that,
helps.
who
His,
who just crashed?
this feels large drive without assist as well. They remind me of myself spinning every 3 times a race.
Just on board with Captain Hindsight as they try and
Well,
make it 4 wide. Oh,
maybe,
Scott, that's late on the brakes, mate. Even for me, you've just
maybe,
compromised your exit and lost 2 positions trying to make up 1.
and maybe I spoke way too soon because Kiani is showing me who's boss. He's a P6, and ahead of him is Weatherman Harry with a 3-second penalty. So once he keeps it clean, he's definitely going to get any points right now.
He's gonna
And
grab
there's
that point,
still,
yeah.
yep. And chances are some of those guys up front are on two warnings already. I could possibly get a final warning in the last corner as they're trying to push to stay ahead of the
which I have
competition.
seen, as Gexy is our official first sprint race of the season winner, followed by Ginge and Cynics
Is it
Ninja in
Job
P4.
Ninja P4?
Well done, Ninja.
And
Kiani
Face
does make
Gani
it into
showing
fifth.
us who's boss, setting for the sauce, and getting in the point. Sorry, who am I? I know nothing. Great job.
And Lars is all the way. Lars is literally a tale of two tapes, isn't he?
He
Starting
won.
P1 and finishing P18.
Yeah. You see, I mean, it really goes to show the difference between qualifying is one kind of ball game, and the race is another kind of ball game. Just two complete different mindsets that you have to approach. Some people have it both, and some people have just one.
Mine is very much like I know my own driving style. Mine is very much over one lap. Like I'm not particularly strong over a full race distance. I tend to lose concentration, which
Hmm.
ends up in me. Oh, why is Ross left?
That used to be a problem for me too as well until I turned off racing lane. You realize that you literally cannot wander. You have to be focused every single because you can't miss a breaking point. There's no line to remind you, hey, you're supposed to brake.
See, even with the racing line, I look at it and I just ignore it, and then brake 50 meters later anyway.
Yeah, it took me a good 3 or 4 races after turning off the racing lane to not miss a breaking point and run into people because you might wonder sometimes, like, what should I cook for dinner? Or, wait, did I send off that email? And you start to wonder, you kind of have lapses.
Yes.
And I find the line actually helped me remember in those instances. But when I turned off the line, once I had a lapse, it was like, oops, into a wall or, yeah, it was pain.
We've got to invite Russ back because he has left the session, but we can do that now. I can do that anyway. Apparently there is no friends on my list. A little bit rude, PlayStation.
Think I
I've
don't
sent
have
him an
him on
invite.
my list. Okay.
Mechanical saying he pitted because he had damage on lap 1, so when the safety car came out, it was kind of a godsend for him.
Our original comment still stands.
That the only time you should be pitting during the sprint is if you have damage, yeah. It's like when we do the sprint at Bahrain, I think it's only going to be like 8 laps. So, because Bahrain's only, what, like a 28 lap race? Something like that.
And formation lap, we're 36 laps of Austria. I think it's one of the shortest, if not the shortest track on the F1 calendar. At least when it comes to time, a 104, 105.
On sheer lap time alone, it's the shortest, but
Not distance.
in distance, it will be Monaco that is the shortest.
The shortest, yeah.
Monaco
And I
is
think the
Monaco is the only race in the F1 calendar that neither meets the length standard for the FIA, the width standard, or any other regulations to be a FIA Grade A racetrack, but because it's Monaco and it's the jewel of the calendar.
uh, I don't even think the cars enjoy Monaco because they don't even get to go to 8th gear. The highest gear they can reach is in Monaco is 7th. I think that's coming through the tunnel.
Yeah, coming through the tunnel down to the bus stop chicane.
Don't,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't get the hit if at
nope.
all. The car is just like screaming to go higher and never gets it.
And I think the top, like the average speed around there is like 103 miles an hour. It's not a lot for an F1 car.
Yeah,
Especially with the ground effect cars, in fairness, because the faster they go, the more downforce they have. That's how it works. In the most simplistic form. I could sit here and explain as much as I understand about ground effects, but I don't want people to fall asleep listening to it.
I
It's
mean, I won't pretend I understand anything about ground effects. Apart from that, it supposedly gives the car more downforce.
it's. I also understand how the ERS system works.
Oh well, you're definitely more advanced than I am.
When it was announced, I spent the best part of like 3 months reading into it to get a better
Ah,
understanding of it. I love that sort of technical aspect of it. It's like I am the one that Dan goes to when it comes to the rules, like actual F1 rules and stuff like that we implement in our rule book. Because he knows I'll be able to reel it off in a
and we're
paraphrase
off. It
fashion.
looks like Gingy has gotten a really good start. He's neck and neck now with Gexy, but he decides to do the
Um,
smart thing.
it looks like we have had nobody actually go round in a plume of smoke, so everybody made it through turn 1 and 2 cleanly.
Yeah, but looks like Gingy got a bad exit after backing out with Getsy.
Yes.
Now he's
Ninja's,
under pressure from Sinitz.
yep, great driving. Left him enough room on the inside there. Has compromised his run through 5 though, but Cynic's also made the move on Ginge at the same time.
Yeah.
How do you overtake 2 cars in 1 corner? That's it's just rude.
And Sinitz, Getsy is 1.9 ahead
Yeah,
already.
just checked out.
Yeah, so if he keeps this up, then he's in prime position because those guys behind are close enough for them to benefit from the DRS, and they might probably have to defend and battle it out amongst
This is
each
the
other while
point
he
of
pulls away.
this is the point of where you have to start thinking logic. Obviously, not this early on in the race, but you start in your head thinking: do I battle the guy ahead, or do I just use? Oh, ninja around the outside of turn 3. As
Great.
Teddy Henke is retired. Is that a pit lane retirement? Yes, it is.
Shinji's down to 5th. Does he have damage?
No, he's just had a terrible middle sector.
Yeah, he's down to 5th now under pressure from Weatherman Harry, who's
And Harry
didn't make
just
contact. Yeah, and another one, he's just losing positions. Like Lewis Hamilton at Abu Dhabi in the last race of the season.
We'll see if he ups to pit now. Nope.
Nope. I mean, I'm not seeing any visible damage on the car, but based on his pace, and that goes around Sheik. Is he out of it? Nope, he's still going.
But
that'll drop him to the
ideally
back.
should have waited for Lars to pass him at the final corner before re-entering the track. Cammy's round in the penultimate corner.
We've had a fair mix of guys on the hards and softs, pretty evenly spread. I don't think I've seen many of the races last season with this even spread.
I think this is
medium and hards.
What it looks like is everybody that pitted onto the set of softs during the sprint has used their soft tyres for the feature, so they've only had the hard and medium to pick from.
Ah, understood.
That's what it looks like to me, because a significant chunk of them did pit, and a significant chunk of them have started on a hard tyre. So,
understood. Looks like Cynic is barely eking into Getsy's time.
Yeah,
he's
getting there, but it's not. Oh, Ninja setting the fastest lap for them to have it sniped by.
No, that's going to make it very tricky for Cynic, who had a very bad exit there just now. Because I think Ninja starts to battle.
So Ninja is already on 19% ERS. So he's going to need to go into recharge mode at some point in the next couple of laps.
Yep, but he's in DRS, so he's Cynic's ahead doesn't have DRS, so he definitely has to use his DRS to defend.
Wicken and Harry wheel to wheel.
Again, the perfect view from Pisciani behind them.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was saying. At this stage, would you just sit in your opponent's DRS and just help slingshot each other? closer to the cars ahead, or you scrap with the guy that you're trying to overtake, because at the end of the day, sitting and like using each other for your DRS will
It's
benefit
tricky.
it will benefit
Yeah,
both of you ultimately, because you'll get
it
closer
will.
to the car ahead. But
But
Scotty's
there's
retired.
always.
Scotty has crashed in what looks like the pit lane.
Oh wow, is this safety car? Looks like, yep, looks like the
Yep.
safety car is coming out. You see, the tricky thing about working with others is that
Yeah, Scott has somehow
it's
managed to
always the
crash
best.
in the pit lane.
Oh yes, I see the Ferrari there. Huh. That's the safety car earlier. So that, I guess, is early enough that it doesn't completely screw. It doesn't screw anyone really, because
I think we're going to see
mediums can't.
Schnitzy make another stop.
Yeah, medium guys can't pit for hards right now, and take it to the end, and the hards
Then,
definitely can't pit for mediums to take it to the end. So
yeah.
it's pretty even out.
I
But
think we're going to see Schnitzy go onto the set of hards and drag them for about 20 laps, 20, 25 laps. Oh no, he's gone on to the mediums.
he's gone for medium. So he's basically deciding that I'm getting back into the game, starting from behind, but at least the pack is closer now, and racing on merit.
Yes, as new rule introduction, what has been dubbed pit and quit will now result in a free super license points loss if evidence of damage cannot be, like race ending damage, cannot be supplied to the stewards.
Yep. So lesson is don't pit and quit.
Yep.
There are
Um,
points available for everyone up to P15. And as you can see, tier one was won by 1 point. So you don't want to be that person that's thinking back, damn, that time that I placed 15th, that I was going to place 15th, I should have quit.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly why it was introduced. Um, in fairness, we're all guilty of pitting and quitting at some point. I myself did it in Silverstone towards the back end of last season.
I was about to say that I never did it, but then when you say Silverstone, I remember having 3 drive-through penalties because I was so angry at the one that came before. I completely stopped playing mine to the Delta, and then got a nut, and then it was just like, this is just too much.
I think the dumbest drive-through I ever got was at Bahrain on F1 2020. I got a drive-through on my way into the pits under the safety car.
Yeah.
So safety car went in. I stopped to like lap after the safety car went in. I came in to serve my my drive-through. As I leave the pit lane, safety car is back out, and as you release the pit lane limiter, it pinged up like +4 seconds in the red, and I had 0.2 of a second to get it down. So
Wow.
I got another drive-through after serving a drive-through.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
And I was like, the first one was literally for me pitting. Like, how am I getting one while I'm in the pit lane?
That's definitely rough. So, oh my, Cynics. What happened? Something happened.
Where is Cynic?
I'm not sure if he ran into the back of Getsy or someone ran into the back of Cynics. Maybe it's Ninja because I've seen Ninja with 10-second penalty. Let me see what penalties. Yeah, probably Ninja ran into the back of him because Ninja has a 40-second penalty.
I'm trying to get a better look at.
And I'm pretty sure he has wing damage.
That's what I'm trying to check. If Cynic has wing damage.
No, Ninja has wing damage because he ran into Cynic. I'm assuming that's what happened.
Yeah, it looks like he's lost an end plate on the right hand side. Yeah, he has.
I think I was just about to ask, who do you think are the real winners of the safety car? And I was going to say Cynic because they allowed him to easily close up a 1.5 second gap, and he seemed to have the pace to keep with Getsy because he was maintaining the gap. But
if he was on his gearbox to start it, then yeah. But trying to pull in that gap is a different story.
Exactly. So the safety car is in, and Getsy is gone.
And Bab is up into podium positions. Well done, Bab. Now that he's out of
Ninja's
that
already.
Ferrari that he seemed to have torrid luck in last season, he took
So,
his full-time seat.
so Ninja didn't pit, so he's actually probably going to make life a bit easier for Getsy again by holding up these guys behind him. They slow through the corners.
Oh, Harry and Bab coming together.
Yep, see, already Getsy's second out from Ninja. So these guys have to get past Ninja, especially before they get through the turns, which is too late now.
Yeah.
So Getsy's going again.
I'm just on board with Wickham and sold Harry a hot dog in order to get on his inside through the S's in the middle sector. Made Harry run so wide just to spot back on the inside to try and get the run through 7 and 8, but couldn't. Then 9. In fairness, Getsy doesn't have as big of a gap at this stage as what he did on this stage 8 laps ago.
Yeah, but the thing is,
oh, Bab with a nice move up the inside of turn 1.
Yeah, but Ninja has wing damage, so that would have lost those guys behind him a lot of time.
Yeah.
So Getsy is again in a great position, and he's fighting back. Even with wing damage, he's posing a problem. He's fighting back.
Yeah.
So he's doing well managing that car.
How much DRS is he using though? A lot of
he's
it.
At 20, he's at about 30 right now. Wicken is at 37, so he's not like terrible amount of ERS. Even Getsy's at 40.
Zenix is round again.
Wow. Well, to his credit, to his defense, the first one wasn't him on the safety car. I just see it happen. I just saw the wing come off, and it looks like Ninja ran into the back of him and screwed his race there.
Yeah, Ninja is hoping and praying for a safety car at some point. Oh, that's Bab round in the middle sector.
Wow. I'm looking at the comment section. I see Web Stappen. He's probably talking about our conversation earlier in terms of teams, guys from different teams working together. Web Stappen is saying that use the DRS to charge it for undercut. That's what he tries to be fair. Yeah, that's a good flag.
Lars is out.
Oh wow.
That looks like he's crashed on the exit of the pit lane.
If I've ever seen a fall from his lorry.
Exit of turn 1. He's dropped it. It snapped left on him straight into the barrier.
Wow. Is that
and
another safety car?
Yeah, and Ninja's got another 5-second penalty. How many penalties does this man want to pick up? He's on 10 seconds.
This is not going good, and this has nothing to do with any potential track limits that can happen in the next 26 laps.
Yeah, so he will serve 5 the next time he pits, which hopefully he might do this lap, because the hard should be able to do 26 comfortably. As I say that, he is on his way into the pits. So he will lose 5 seconds, and then he'll have another 5 to serve, which he'll be hoping that there will be another safety car late on.
Well, I will tell you this, Ninja is on 2 track limit warnings already.
Ninja.
So this is not looking good for him at all, and I can confirm that he received his 5-second penalty for
ignoring yellow flags.
Well, the first one, severe collision with Cynics, and then ignoring yellow flags for the second one.
Ninja's gone brave.
Hard to the end?
Nope. Softs.
Well, those can't go to the end.
No, but meaning he's gone softs for the next 8-9 laps, and then it will be a set of hards. I think he's hoping and praying for another safety car.
I think I have a problem in I went into the race there, ran up, I can't get back out. Has that ever happened?
Just press circle.
Yeah, I'm pressing circle quite often. game is so strange sometimes.
Um, actually, Webstaffin's just said that he might be pitting again before the safety car comes in. Yeah,
Oh, that's actually genius, Ninja.
I'm also low-key stuck in the race director.
I mean, you probably will. He probably will get reported. And yeah, you're stuck as well.
Yes.
This game is crazy ridiculous. Uh, I can
Yeah, it
only
won't
see
let me
one.
out.
Yeah, this is. Let's see if I press the PS. This is something. Doing this. And then go back in the game. Yeah, this game
Uh,
is strange, man.
yeah, like, so we can't even check anything during the race in race director.
Uh, yeah, this is. This is so crazy. Sorry, viewers. This is not a fault of CDR or any of its part-time commentators. This is all EA and its subsidiary.
Yeah, I can't close the game either without the stream stopping.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that we can do right now. 'Cause I literally can't get out. I'm not even sure
Yeah,
what's going on.
um, yeah, this is dumb on a next level. Right, I will be back in a second, guys.